Hey y'all, it's Spiritual Life Coach 43, and I'm here to give you life coaching session number 24. The topic is how to combat domestic violence. If you guys are new to my channel, welcome and blessings. Please do come right on in and join us. If you are a returning viewer, watcher, and or subscriber, I'm sending you guys so much joy, happiness, love and light, prayers, peace, and abundance to all of you guys. Thank you guys for coming back time and time again. You guys are awesome. So, you guys, this is a very heavy and deep topic. Unfortunately, people face domestic violence in their lives with spouses, family members, friends, co-workers, people in their circle. You know, the boyfriend, the girlfriend. Some people may see their parents fight. And putting hands on each other is not okay unless it is to protect yourself or somebody else. Okay? So a lot of people see this, they experience it. It's not okay. It is a problem. It's significant. It's important. And it's important not to do it. So this topic could be very touchy because I know I've seen domestic violence. I've helped people out of situations like that. And oftentimes, unfortunately, people go back to their abusers because they don't see a way out or they feel embarrassed. So today I'm going to give you guys some tips with how to combat domestic violence and what to do based on what I've seen, what I know, and how to help men and women, because violence of any kind is not okay. Okay? It's just not. And it's very troublesome. And it's something that needs to stop. It needs to end. So let's dive in and begin. With everything, I always include prayer. As a spiritual life coach, you guys know I do life coaching sessions and I also do tarot card readings. This is a life coaching session. And prayer is everything to me. I pray in the morning, I pray at night, I pray more so on Sundays, but each and every day. Put prayer and love and light over your loved ones. And if you're going through domestic violence, you're not alone. You have an entire spiritual team. You have God. You have family members and friends. Okay? Pray to God and then listen to your intuition. This is your time to listen to what Spirit is telling you because they're going to help you get through this. Okay? Just remember this. There are, unfortunately, hundreds of thousands of people going through the same thing. And it's not okay to be bullied. It's not okay to be bruised. It's not okay to be hurt. It's not okay for somebody to have to put their hands on you and you have to protect yourself. Protecting yourself is the right thing to do. But there's many ways to combat and fight back. So weapons are important to have. Okay? It's important to make sure that you are equipped. More than just with your hands or your feet or your teeth. Okay, some of you guys need to purchase a firearm and make sure that you guys get it registered. Do things the right way to the best of your ability. Know where knives are. I am very big on pepper spray. If you guys have been watching my channel, you guys know I always mention pepper spray. And it's because it's helped people. People have told me it helped save their lives because it gave them seconds. They didn't have to put their hands on anybody. It gave them time to spray and run away. And that person was coughing and choking and people knew who the assailant was. They knew who the abuser was because that person was marked with a color. They were also coughing and choking, and their eyes were burning. They were screaming and yelling. They had to go get milk or water or whatever it was. So they're more focused on their eyes. They're going to turn away from you if they're burning and choking and coughing. Okay, so make sure that you guys have weapons in the car, on your keychains. You know, do things according to the law respectfully, but most importantly, protect yourself and have weapons. And make sure your family has them as well because they may need them. Okay, but do what's safe, especially if you guys have little kids around. You know, do what you feel is best. You know, I think every woman should have pepper spray in their purse when you guys go to the mail, or maybe, you know, when you go to the mailbox, or you're going somewhere at night and you're alone, or it's in your car when you guys are leaving a club, whatever it is. If you work late at night, even in the daytime, people can get crazy out here. There's a lot of people who are suffering from mental illness, schizophrenia, people who are just abusive, people who are just flying off the handles these days, and it's been happening for a long time, and it needs to stop. But it's important to protect you, your kids, your families. Okay, men, you also would benefit from pepper spray because, you know, there's crazy women, crazy men. It doesn't matter the race or the gender or whoever it is. Wrong is wrong, and you need to protect yourself. Materials. So it's important to have all the materials that you can have possibly because it's going to help you in the end. Okay, Video cameras are important to have. It's important to have, like I said, your mace and your pepper spray. It's important to make sure you guys get things on tape. You guys have phones. A long time ago, people didn't have cell phones, and when cell phones did come out, the pictures were very blurry. Today it's so much easier because we have evolved with technology that people can get cameras for the car. You can get cameras for your homes and the ring bell for doorbells, and that way you can interact with people less and protect your family and your homes and be safer. So some of you guys may want to purchase a dog, or you may want to make sure that you guys have cameras to get people on tape. A lot of people will go live when they're being abused. That's good, so that we know what's going on and the world can see. Pictures, movies, videos speaks louder than words. It speaks volume. So that's important to have. So think about purchasing that as necessary. I think it's important to have two emergency phones, maybe one in your, of course you guys have a phone, a cell phone, most people do. Some people have a landline, but also have an extra cell phone. Put it in a bathroom, put it where people don't really know it's there, because it's there. And, let it be a hidden thing, especially if you're being abused. Have two phones. Put that other phone somewhere else, put it where you could find it in case you need it. Okay, turn it off so that, it's full of life, it's full of battery, and use it whenever you may need it. Okay, it's good to have that, especially if one phone go out, you have another one. So maybe you have the other one in the bathroom, or you keep one in the car, you keep one, under the bed. I don't know, somewhere where, it's out of sight, but in your mind, quick reach, where you guys can get to it if you need to. Okay, you never know who you may have to call for an emergency. You may have to call for emergency services. Do what you guys feel is best. Okay, all right, and do not hold back if you guys need to call for help or emergency hotline. You have resources out here. Please utilize them. There are various centers for those who are dealing with abuse and domestic violence. I mean, please reach out. You could be anonymous if you want. If you just want to get information, that's fine, but reach out. A lot of you guys need to consult with the courts. Okay, find out your options in regards to restraining orders. Find out your options in regards to how much things cost. If they cost anything, what's the process? What type of restraining orders do they have? How long? Is it 5 to 10 days? Is it months? Is it permanent? What can you do to keep this person restrained from you legally? Because you want to do everything legally that you can. Think of it in terms of a bully at school. If your kids, God forbid, are being bullied, and this happens, unfortunately, it's best to cross your T's and dot your I's and make sure that you guys have consulted with the principal, with the teachers, with the parents, and you've talked to everybody, the kid who's doing the bullying, that you've talked to your kid and there was mediation. You want to make sure you have everything in place so that if you ever need this documentation later on, it will be there. But understand this, paper does not protect you from bullets. Paper is not going to protect you from knives unless it's super thick. Okay, unless you get heavily blessed and it's super thick like a phone book or two. So, but this is important to have in place. And understand this, oftentimes when people are served restraining order documents where they have to stay so many feet or yards or, away from you or away from the living situation, these people often get very angry, and that can increase their violence. Do not let that hinder you from doing what's right, because you may need to call for help. And when you let them know that you have a restraining order in place and this person has been served, this puts more people on your side. Okay, law enforcement, the courts, and other officials will be more on your side because they see that you try to do things right to the best of your ability. But it's important to have your weapons as well, because, like I said, paper can't protect you physically, in most cases. Sometimes it helps. Oftentimes people have to usually fend for themselves because it takes time for law enforcement to get there. It takes time for you to have to call. And it's important to protect yourself first. Protect your body, protect your kids' bodies, protect your homes, protect yourselves, okay? All right, you're more important than any material thing, okay? You are important. We can replace things, phones and cars and keys and, TVs, houses can be replaced. You cannot, okay? So take care of you and your kids. Definitely take all threats very seriously, okay, and abuse. When somebody's saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to get you, I'm going to hurt you, I'm coming after you, I'm coming after your kids, do not play with that, because they are not playing. If they can think it, they mean it, and they can do it. And if you don't take it seriously, the one time you blow it off to the side and make it not a big deal, that's the one time they are ready to act, and you will be unprepared. So don't put up with this. One threat is too many. One threat is too many. Take all threats and any threats seriously. And it doesn't matter if it's from your kids. It doesn't matter if it's from your spouse. It could be shocking, but it's real. Don't tell yourself it's not real. They're just playing. No, they said it. They thought it. They meant it. Because people who love you and respect you and don't plan to do any harm towards you, they never think that way. People who plan to harm you, they think this way. And usually what's in oftentimes comes out. Please do not argue with people who are ignorant, violent, who are low vibrational. It's a waste of time. Okay, it's like talking to a stone wall. You will not be able to get through. Because oftentimes these people love to argue. They love for the situation to build and the rage to spill over. Because in their minds, it gives them a reason to act out. They're going to say you push them to it. Do not argue with them. You cannot argue with fools, and you cannot win with fools. Communicate through the courts to the best of your ability. See if you guys can get a mediator, a therapist, a judge, but do not argue with these people. Okay? They don't have good reason, and this is why they're violent. They need anger management. A lot of them need help. Some of them need mental help, but arguing is not the way. It's not going to help. Oftentimes, they like to argue. These people are typically narcissists. They love to abuse, and they usually don't value anything. They don't value life. They don't value their life. They don't care what happened to them. They don't care if they go to jail. They live in anger and rage, and they're looking for somebody to take it out on because they don't love themselves, and they're not living for the right reasons. They're not honoring God. They don't appreciate you, and arguing with them and trying to reason with them, it usually doesn't happen. Okay? So please don't argue, and definitely minimize communication at all costs. Less is more. If this is a child's father, a child's mother, something like this, and you have to deal with this person because perhaps you guys have joint custody or something like that. Be very clear, direct, and to the point. Try to text, try to email, try to do things to where you don't really have to talk to them. This is where mediators are great. Other people, maybe there's a neutral party you guys can consult with and talk to. That'd be great. But do not hesitate to call for help when you need it. Keep communication professional. Keep it clear, to the point, and keep documentation. This is the good thing about text and emails and voicemails. So keep these records. It's going to be important. But say less. Less is more. Like, okay, cool. We agree. Something like that. To the point. So that nothing is confusing. Okay? And it's great if you have a witness as well. I just thought about that. Don't allow abusers to guilt trip you about going to hell because you may have to do something to them to protect yourself. It's you or them. It's your kids or them. It's you and your kids or them. Survive. I want you guys to live, and you guys deserve to live happy, healthy, peaceful, successful, prosperous, beautiful, safe lives. You guys deserve to be safe. Don't let their threats, their fear, tactics and scare tactics guilt you into feeling like, oh, you're going to go to hell if you shoot me. You're going to go to hell if you do this or whatever it is. Do what you have to do to protect you and your family, okay? Because when somebody's abusive, every time your life is on the line. Go back and watch the stories, through Datelines and all these, crime stories where people didn't make it because of domestic violence. And then think about people who did survive, like Tina Turner. But look at her story. And this was just a movie. She lived it. But all it would have taken is one blow, one time too many. And she may not be here today. Thank God she is here today. But understand this. There's somebody who didn't make it. There's many somebodies. There's many people who did not make it because somebody chose to take their life from them. And it's horrible. And it's evil. It's despicable. It's wicked. That's the devil's work. We serve God over here. Keep yourself in prayer and cover your family in prayer and invite your angels to protect you. But also remember, we co-create with spirit. We have to do our part too. Fight for your life. Fight for your kids' lives. And I was talking about keeping records and documents. This is very important, especially if there are checks involved. If child support has to come through, then it's best to have like some kind of, I don't know, cashier's check or garnishings through the court. That way you guys don't even have to exchange, you know, glances. You guys don't have to exchange hands. You don't have to say anything to each other. There don't have to be any games or, ridiculous things, because some people are very petty, unfortunately. But we live with people who are immature, people who've changed. They didn't show this in the beginning, but a lot of people are wolves in sheep's clothing, but their true colors always come out. So it's often to have money orders and checks and written documents, or at least keep your own logs, okay? And sign off, okay, this person came this day. They picked up the kids this day. This was the agreement. You're going to have to be very organized. You're going to have your record keeping. You're going to have to be on game like this is a job, okay? So have logs, have records. Remember, records represent evidence and proof that will help and support your claims and your stance and your side. And definitely keep a stash of cash. Have some money stashed aside to leave. I think it's so imperative and significant that all men and women, especially women, to have money placed aside somewhere where nobody can get to but you, okay? So that your abuser never find it, so that other people can't steal it. So maybe a safety deposit box, or you have it in a special safe that nobody knows where it is, or maybe it's at your parents' house. I don't know. Somewhere that you trust to be safe, that you can get to in case you and your kids have to leave. Y'all can grab that stash of cash and be gone. It's important that, I feel it's very important that women and men teach your daughters and sons, but especially your daughters, because I hear about more domestic violence on women. Teach your daughters and girls to have their own money, because oftentimes abusers want them to depend on them. They want you to depend on them. And oftentimes that's what happens, especially financially. Some people feel like they're in a bind and they don't leave. They feel like they don't have the money to get a new place or a new partner and start over. But understand this, whether you have the money or not, there are safe houses, there are resources, there's places and helplines and people that you guys can call, reach out, and keep reaching out, because somebody will reach back. Do not ever give up. Do not ever stop fighting for your life. Your life is worth living. They didn't make you. Don't allow them to break you. Fight for your life and have your own money. Safety is first. Don't hesitate to move or leave with or without that cash. But it is a lot easier when you have it. Some money's better than none, because that can give you a new start. And I know it's not easy to save a good 20, 30,000, or at least 10,000. Do what you can. So while you guys are in relationships, I don't feel like people should get into them until they have that safety stashed aside. That means your spouse, your husband, your partner never is privy to it. I don't care if you guys have been together 50 years. They are never privy to that cash. Some people will get rid of you if they find out you have that kind of money. And don't think that 5 or 10 or a couple $1,000s is not a lot to them. That means a lot to them, especially for somebody who's no good. That money means more to them than your life. And no, it's not even theirs. So that's why it's important to know when to be quiet. That money's for you and your safety. Everybody needs a safety stash, especially before you start dating somebody. It's important to have your jobs too, and your careers and stuff going, and your schooling and all that. Your education is important too. But have your own money. That changes everything for you. That will make you feel more safe in your heart, in your soul, and financially. And like I said, that's not something to talk about ever. You don't even let family on it. That's for you. Okay. So the last point I wanted to include here before I close this life coaching session is, I would like for people to speak up more in families, at schools. There are people who are, I forget what they called. They're designated people who, if they know about domestic violence or something like this, they're forced to tell. I think it's like healthcare workers, teachers, I don't know, something like that. But make sure that you guys know that you're never alone. And I can't stress that enough. You have help. I can't stress that enough. But people usually can't help you if they don't know what's going on. If you're hiding the bruises with makeup, or long sleeve clothes, or staying inside and away, or putting on a smile when you have been crying all night, it's time to fight back with your words. Combat domestic violence by telling people, speaking up and speaking out. Because not only are you protecting yourself, your kids, your life, your well-being, your health, and your physical body and wellness, you're also protecting your family members and friends and people that you love. Because oftentimes an abuser will target your family, your mom, your dad, your kids, other people to hurt you, to spite you. They don't care. If somebody gets in their way, they don't care. So everybody needs to be equipped with weapons, material, knowledge, and know that somebody will let you in. It don't matter if it's 3 a.m. Don't feel like you're bothering somebody. People who love you are going to open that door and invite you in and help you fight and tell you what's right. And it's important that you guys listen. Listen to people who love you, who want the best for you. You may know what's right, but guess what? If it's you in this, that is you. But you're not in it alone when you invite help and support, and you do have that. So speak up, use your voice so that this ends. And guess what? Then it won't happen to the next man, the next woman, the next girl. So people have got to learn to speak up and speak out and speak against all kinds of abuse, because no kind of abuse is right, and it's not okay, and it'll never be. Okay, you guys. This has been life coaching session number 24 in regards to how to combat domestic violence. I hope the messages in this reading help everyone and anyone who needs it. Please forward it, share it, pass it along to anybody, and please like, share, and subscribe if you guys like this message, or you guys get some healing from it, or some great tips. Thank you guys so much for watching my channel. I wish you all happiness, hopefulness, safety, prayers, blessings, harmony, and all that good stuff always. God bless you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye, y'all.